Lynn Morris, why you always, seems like you don't want to, you don't,
I think they mentally trying something wrong.
huh?
Seems like I'm on the way.
Seems like you don't really want to, like you don't really vibrate with what's being said by you, but you're always coming through though. So we're going to the question part. If anyone got any questions before we shut it down with the prayer.
I don't respond to them anymore. I think they're mentally challenged or something. For real. I did have a question though that I like when you mentioned black magic. Do you mind kind of going in a little bit about the idea of black magic? Because I know when people hear that, they think, you know, like the worst when it comes to black magic. They're like, no, I'm not a dark witch, I'm a light witch. I don't know if that's more like a spiritual lesson if you want to revisit that. Oh yeah, can we just do that then? You want to do that? Like maybe talk about light witch and a dark witch, or you can answer now. But just think about like the difference between the magic and I know the dark isn't bad, but I just kind of wanted you to talk about it if you could, to bring some insight.
It's Nikki asks, who are you praying to? It depends. But I don't really pray to anybody or any energy or entity. I call upon entities, you know, but I don't, or energies or certain beings. I don't pray to them though, per se. But I use the word prayer because people understand that, they resonate with that idea of things. So I use the word prayer.
See, this is what I don't know. That's why he was hard to talk to you.
Someone in the box said, "You messing up by my attempt." Oh, that one you already did that.
All right, so the middle one is the one that needs to be acknowledged.
Why use brass over copper? Someone asked in the box. I mean, you can use either one. I mean, truly, copper is actually the more electrical metal because it's a pure metal, while brass is copper mixed with I don't know if I think it's zinc maybe. Right, so it's not pure, right? You're not going to see brass wire in electrical wiring.
Right.
You're not going to see it in a car. You're only going to see copper.
That's the only one.
Ashe. So we asked about what is dark magic? How you said?
Yeah, black magic. Dark magic. I
mean, dark and black magic. I mean, it's kind of perspective, but when it comes to that, you know, but essentially, dark or black magic, and there's different levels to the dark and black magic. There's different grades to it. But light magic really has more to do with like mental.
Like optimism and things.
Like it has more to do with like manifestation type of stuff, right? And like it's drawing in what already exists. That's light magic.
Okay.
You're drawing things in. You're utilizing and shifting the energy that already like exists. Dark magic, you are taking energy away to obtain something that that's not supposed to belong in that time frame or in that reality at that time, right? You're forcing it, basically. It's a force, while light magic is you're willing something in, right? So for instance, a light magic version might be, you know, you put out there a prayer, you put out there a written spoken word, or you can even call it a spell in a sense. But you're putting out there that this is what type of relationship that I'm looking for. This is the energy that I want to bring in, right? Well, that's light magic, because you are pulling in, you are putting out there a magnet to attract what already exists out there, and you're just putting out the magnet, so when it comes by, it pulls in willingly. But if you say, I want this particular person to want me and to be with me, and you do a ritual to pull them in, well, now you are bending their will, right? That's dark magic, because that energy that attracts it is not there. You're not allowing it to happen in a way where,
like, organically,
where it's not in due time, right? Instead, you are forcing that time, right?
Gotcha. You're gonna be with me,
but right? It's like if you want, it's like you're going to grow, cucumbers, right? Now you could just try to find a random piece of land that has cucumbers coming from it, right? But that, might be difficult trying to find that, right? So instead you say, I'm going to grow the cucumbers. It's like, okay, I'm going to do the ritual, right? But you can do the light ritual or the dark ritual. The light ritual is you get the proper soil and get the proper soil feeding elements like stone meal, right? Carbon-based things that you put into the soil, right, to grow the food, right? And you get natural pesticides to protect the food and so on, right? And then whatever comes of that, because you created a great environment, that's what you get, right? Or you can do the dark magic way, where you're like, well, I'm going to get, genetically modified seeds that grow faster, and I'm going to add certain chemicals that will help it grow faster and bigger and make it greener and juicier. And then I'm going to get, chemical pesticides to protect it, and right? And you get your product faster, and then maybe it's more abundant using the dark magic way, right? But there is a cost to that, because now when you see in the light magic way, the cost is up front. Or I'll say not up front, but during the process. Dark magic, the cost is up front and at the end. Where up front you gotta give up something. So in this case with the farming, right, you have to give up the healthy elements to growing the food, right? But you grow the food way faster. But then you also have to give up the healthy nutrition when you actually eat the food, because there's poisons in it now. But at least you got what you wanted, right? Versus if you go the light magic way, you go the stone meal, the carbon-based way, the natural pesticides, right? You have to pay more attention to your crop as you are growing it, because it's going to take longer to grow, and it doesn't have the same protection, and it doesn't have the unnatural things in it that allow it just to push through all of the environmental challenges. It'll just, it doesn't have all of that. So you have to pay more attention and really pay attention to protecting your crop. But when you get it at the end, it will completely and totally nutritionalize your body. And essentially that is how light magic and dark magic work. You do the ritual to manifest and will in your partner. Well, it's not only do you have to will them in, but you have to go through a process. Like the process you went through before you met me, you had to go through this process of, when you cut your hair and when you change your clothes, and it was a process of growing until you then pulled in your crop, right? And then you receive the nutrition from that. versus those who say, well, I'm going to do the magic and pull in this person that I want right now, that I see I want them, boom, I'm going to do this. Well, now you had to sacrifice certain energy to do that, which is that on the back end, you might get the person that you want, but then later on, you find there's arguments, there's clashing, there's toxicity, as well as you had to sacrifice energy for that. And if you didn't sacrifice a goat or something or whatever, and you just did a ritual, then you actually sacrifice a part of your life force, which could cause you to age faster. Ashe. So this is essentially the difference between the dark and the light magic.
Ashe for the light and the dark.
But both have their place and both are necessary at a certain time. That's why both of them exist. Because it is also the dark magic, the black magic, that creates life. Because both parties must give up their life force to create a new life. So, and that is actually dark magic. Sex and they call it insemination. Is that what it is? Or procreation, I'll just say. Yeah. Procreation, that is a form of dark magic, of black magic. You have to sacrifice energy, right? And then there's no nutrition after, like once the baby is born, you're not nutritionalized any type of way, right? You giving up your life force. The man gives up his life force, and the woman you give up your life force to do this. It is a form of dark magic, right? But then the way you raise a child is supposed to be through light magic, right? It's raising them and feeding them properly and grooming them and not harvesting them, but just cultivating them properly as they grow up. So then when they are ready to bloom and they become a certain age, right, they become of a benefit to you and the community. So it's a combination of dark magic and light magic that is required to build a successful community and family.
A shame.
It's Nikki. I normally pray to Jesus, God Almighty, all-knowing, so loved the world that he gave his son to be killed, so we would not perish but have everlasting life. Light and darkness is the picture. Ashe. It's Nikki. You know, like I've said before, Jesus is cool. I got no beef with Jesus, or God and all the gods that exist, and whichever God you're talking about, right? I'm cool with all of them. All love, Maji, Ashe. Goddess energy, don't outsource your power, Ashe. Let's see, Brittany said, would you consider core cutting spells dark? Yeah, that's a dark one too. Core cutting is dark as well. It's on a core cutting is dark, right? You probably say it's a lower level darkness because you're not breaking somebody's will, right? But you are disconnecting an attachment, which does require some life force to do that, some of your energy to do that, right? It's low level though, so it's like it's not a big deal to do, right? At least when you're cutting one cord, but the more cords you have to cut, then the more, then it starts to become a big deal. If you got to cut 10, 20 cords at one time, then it's going to be, or you cutting cords pretty frequently, then yes, it'll take a toll on you. It will take a toll on you. Instant gratification isn't great. Ashe, Clint Morris. It's Nikki. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things unseen. Ashe. Just God. Thank you. You're welcome. Jay, stay high, 1%. Ashe. Jesus was the ultimate sacrifice. Jesus was the ultimate sacrifice for that God of that spiritual element. You are correct. Jay, and be well. When you give back so much love and light, God replaces it. Ashe. True, just sky. The yin and yang. Ashe. I feel dark and light are one and the same. They are one and the same. They're just, reflections in a sense. Spirituality is different than religion. I love spiritual. Spirituality and religion is kind of like light and dark. It's like they're just they're the same thing, but like inverted. One's structured, one's not. The more you start to structure spirituality, it becomes a religion. The less structure you add to religion, the more it becomes a spirit. So like, for instance, Christianity is becoming less and less structured. Now the Bible is the Bible. That's a totally different thing. That's just a book, or a book compiled of books that people use, right? But Christianity itself, the religion, is becoming less and less structured. Therefore, it's becoming more and more spiritual. It's become more and more spiritual. But spiritual does not mean light. Because remember, spirit can be light and it can be dark. So Christianity is becoming more and more spiritual, but in the dark side of things. It's on the dark side, right? It's going on the dark side of things. So it's becoming more and more spiritual, right? And then spirituality, which we look at as the light, is starting to actually form into a religion. It just hasn't become an official new religion tied to it yet. We're still, as a collective, working that out, trying to figure out what's going to be that religion now. Like I said, now for me, I've created my version, or I'm creating my version, Kuvuk. So that's what that is, But I'm sure there will be others that are also, that have been created, and others that will be created. Live in Utah, Ashe. All right. Ashe. So, okay, no one has any more questions besides, we got a Jesus talk right now. Let's go ahead into the prayer.
May there be peace, may there be love.
You're welcome, Clint Morris. Ashe, goddess energy. Yeah, we do, we do honor their perspectives, and you're welcome, Miss Nikki. Because when you reach a certain, I like I've said, I've reached the 5th dimension, right? So I can't help but to see the truth in what everybody is saying, at least from their perspective. I can't help but see it. And that's one of the evident things that you'll come to find when you reach the 5th dimension. You can't help but to see the truth in what everyone is saying. It's just like, even when your ego body might first want to go against it, your higher mind will be like, yeah, but if you look at it from this way, what they're saying does make sense, right? And it's just, it becomes, that's just a natural space that happens when you reach that fifth dimensional level. And it's a level that we all are striving for. We all can you get it. It's Nikki Ashe. I'm glad you get it. All right. So we'll continue to you're actually very grounded. It's Nikki Ashe. I'm glad to hear. So now we'll go into the prayer section of this